This chapter has 3 conversations with Adam Trask. First, a conversation with Will Hamilton. Second, he talks to himself. And third, he talks with Lee. All 3 conversations center around the previous chapter's 2 main events of the death of Samuel Hamilton and the confrontation with his wife, Kathy Ames. So first, he has a conversation with Will Hamilton on the way home to the ranch. Why does he stop off to talk to Will? Well, purportedly, it's to inquire about buying an automobile. We have no idea why Adam would be interested in an automobile, but I take it as a symbol of hope. On the way there, he was a horse and buggy type of guy, and on the way home from confronting Kathy and reflecting on the demise of the wise Samuel Hamilton, he is a new creation. He's a new Adam and thinks about the future for the first time, is hopeful about the future, the first time since Kathy. He has a realistic hope for the future, and maybe the car symbolizes that. That's where the world is going after all, and so he can see himself living decades into the future with sons driving an automobile, is my guess. While he's there, he talks with Will about Will's father, Samuel, and it's striking how unaffected he seems to be by the death of his father. Now, you talk about his mother, and his ears perk up, and he'll add things to the conversation, but you talk about his recently deceased father, and Will doesn't seem to have any really positive things to say about him. Will seems like a practical guy, and so he values his mother's so-called practicality and poetry and invention and love and beauty and truth. You can't eat those things. You can't put those into the gas tank of your Ford, and so those aren't practical in Will's worldview. So it's a little ironic when you see someone like an Adam Trask who would have loved to have a father like Samuel Hamilton. In fact, Samuel Hamilton did become a father to him, and you see someone who grows up with Samuel Hamilton, and he seems to not really have appreciated his father much of all. The only kind of positive thing he says is that other people appreciated him, drawing over 200 people to his graveside funeral service. And so East of Eden, you're either looking for a father or you have a father and you don't appreciate him very much. Second conversation, briefly, Adam has with himself, where he can't help but say out loud his newfound lease on life, his newfound joy, after he notices that he's noticing things. Trails he's trod before without ever looking at them, he sees them. Sons he's had for a dozen years, he can't wait to see what's happened with them the past couple days. He's free, and what has brought his freedom? His conversation with Kathy, his facing down his demons. Finally, thirdly, he gets home and has a conversation with Lee, and yes, they touch on Samuel Hamilton and what his death means, but their conversation centers around Kathy. And Lee says, well, I knew you couldn't have gone forever. I'm surprised you went this long to not go confront her. And Lee says that's why in Oriental cultures, I think he calls it Oriental cultures, it's handy to have devils. It's handy to be able to believe in a supernatural evil, because then when you meet someone like Kathy, Adam says it's hard to believe someone like that exist, and Lee says that's when devils come in handy, because then you can just place them in that box, and so it's easy to have a category for someone like Kathy, call her a devil, because she is. She can say out of her own mouth that what she really is after is revenge on Mr. Edwards, but that doesn't really explain it, because she was evil before she even met old Mr. Edwards. So that might truly be a thing that she wants, but that's not the heart of her evil. The heart of her evil is something that Steinbeck calls inscrutable, and so Lee says it's convenient to have something like a devil to pin on her. Then, poor Adam Trask. He's been born again. He's a new creation because of his confrontation with Kathy. And he's all stoked and excited to live this new life with an automobile. seeing plants and rivers and flowers for the first time. He's going to be a good dad to his boys, and he's laying all this on Lee, and Lee wants to talk about something else. Lee wants to talk about his own dreams. His own dream, number one, a wife, and number two, to run a bookshop in San Francisco. And it's never dawned on Adam, over a dozen years now, that Lee could have an independent life outside of their household, that Lee could want things. And both of the things that Lee wants seem to hover around having a relationship, discussing ideas, discussing love and beauty. That's what a wife and a bookshop have in common in Lee's mind, is that they're both ways you can talk about important things, that you can make a human connection if you have a spouse or a bookshop. There's someone and something to talk about. And it dawns on Adam that while he is a new man, while he is free, while his eyes have been opened, while he now notices what he never noticed, is it too late? Because just when his life is all fallen into place, now Lee pulls the rug out from underneath him, not selfishly, but by just being a normal person who has dreams and hopes and things. And Adam knows that that's you can't argue against that. Lee has every right to want autonomy, to want freedom. To as Lee says, we're not after happiness, we're after contentment. And so Adam has this revelation about himself, but immediately that revelation is put to the test, because just as he didn't see Kathy as a wife with her own independent thoughts, just as he's failing his twin boys by not seeing that they're individual boys, he's also realized the same thing. Even Lee has this entire world, and to him, to Adam, it's nothing. And so the downside of having a revelation is that what's revealed to you is not only the happiness and the joy and the beauty of the world, but that other people have dreams as well. And so this chapter that started off on such a positive note, symbolized by the purchase of an automobile, said explicitly out of the mouth of Adam Trask, I'm free, Christ Almighty, I'm free, ends with Adam running away. What's he running away from? Well, that's not entirely clear, but it seems like he's running away from the revelation that he never saw Kathy, he's not seeing his boys, and he definitely didn't really see his friend Lee.